Hi, this is Annesha. Welcome to my channel Designer Clock. As you know, in the last episode, I have talked about what designing is and how it is related to problem solving. Also, I have told you how can you solve problems and become a designer. Well, now that you have thought about becoming a designer, or maybe you have started solving problems and now you are confident about becoming a designer, I would like to tell you that there are quite a few options for you to choose from. Well, maybe you are just passionate about design and you just want to learn different kinds of designing, or maybe you are a student of maybe 10th or 11th or 12th and you are looking forward to entering a design college, maybe NIFT, IIT, NID, or maybe any other private design college, and you want to have a career in design. uh, then what would you go ahead with? What are the options for you? So this video is all about that, and all the videos that would come next will be more about your options. So the first option that I would like to plate uh, to you is fashion design. That's pretty much of a very talked of stream. That's something that people are very curious about. Everybody who is not very aware about fashion design has this very glamorous kind of an idea about fashion design. They really think that it is all about cameras, it is all about a model, walking on a narrow ramp with some sort of glamorous clothes and everybody's eyes on them, all sorts of lights and an ambience music and stuff like that. Is all about glamour, what people think about it. But the glamour that people talk about, or that is visible, is just the climax, and there is a whole different story going backstage, and that happens before that ramp walk thing. So what is that story? That is what I'm going to tell you today. So without much ado, let's get started. Okay, so the first thing first, every kind of design you do is actually kind of done under a particular design forecast. Okay, so there is a forecast that is available in different websites like Promo Steel, WGSN, and other sorts of websites that help us understand, that help us designers understand what people would like to wear or maybe use in the days that are going to come. Just like maybe the kind of hairstyles they want to get, maybe the kind of fabrics they would like to wear, or maybe the kind of colors they would like to go forward with, the kind of textures, the kind of materials that they would like to decorate their homes with, or maybe use in their day-to-day lives. Every single thing is forecasted in advance. So how do they do that? Okay, so they do a vivid survey, a vivid research to understand what people are leaning forward to, what people are looking forward to, what they are wishing to do, what is going on in their minds. So after the survey and the research, they conclude those ideas, the set of themes and design directions that designers usually follow. So as a fashion designer, you will be expected to study that trend forecast, after which you go on with an inspiration. Now there are a whole lot of things you can get inspired by. You don't go out with a flashlight searching for information about inspiration. You don't go out and be like, where is inspiration? I need an inspiration. Give me an inspiration. You don't do that, okay? You just think of random things that you maybe liked some days back, or maybe a year or two back. Maybe you were at a restaurant, or maybe you were somewhere in between a trip, or maybe you were just roaming around in a park and maybe you saw a particular flower, or maybe a particular leaf, or maybe a stone, or maybe a human, or maybe any other creature for that instance, and you really liked a particular aspect of it. Maybe you saw an auntie and you liked the color combination of what she was wearing, or maybe you went out, you looked at a leaf and you really liked the texture or maybe the color of it, or maybe you went for a trip and found some corals and you liked the structure or maybe the texture of them. So you had that at the back of your mind and you really liked them. You thought that maybe the shape of that particular object might help you in designing someday. So you noted those informations down, and now you can use those inspirations to make a real design for yourself. So as a designer, now that you have an inspiration and the forecast, you try to equate both of them. So you try matching the LHS with the RHS to see if that works. Okay, so now that you have some common points, okay, something that suits your inspiration and your forecast together, you write details about all of that, you jot down details about all of that. Maybe you create rough sketches of what you saw as an inspiration and maybe what you saw as a forecast, and then by using those features together, you try making a few designs. Okay, why not just one? Because at the end of the day you will be just needing one, so why are you designing 4 5 or maybe 2 3 at least of them? Because the more the merrier. You will be having more choices, so you try sketching a few designs and then maybe you select one and then maybe you draw it nicely. Now while designing, you will also have to keep in mind whom you are designing for and what occasion you are designing for. That also includes whom you are designing for, also includes their taste, also includes their profession or the occasion they would wear it to. That also includes their the kind of money they would like to pay for that particular dress. Because what's the point of designing something grand when they are looking for something very simple? Or what's the point of making something simple if they are looking for something over dramatic? Okay, so you need to understand your client as well while you are designing. Now that you have an idea, you will have to become that customer of yours. Okay, you'll have to see your design from his or her or their point of view. You look at your design and you be like, okay, so that's your design, why am I going to buy it? Now you have to convince yourself that okay, it has these features, so you should definitely give it a try, definitely try buying it. So when you are convinced by the criticism that you have done yourself, then only can you move on to the final showcasing of your design. If there are certain things that you feel needs to be changed after the self criticism you did, you'll have to make those changes. Okay, now that you are aware of the design you want to have, you make a final nice sketch of it. When you are done with that, you will have to draw the entire thing on a brown paper, because that way you will not make mistakes when you are making those patterns on the fabric. I hope you know that we don't wear a single piece of fabric. There are several bits and parts stitched together, and only then we get something that fits our curves nicely. So we draw those bits and parts of a particular dress on brown paper, then we trace it on the fabric. Now as designer student, you want to get to, or it is not wise also to trace the initial pattern on the final fabric. So what you do is you buy cheap quality or maybe pocket friendly fabrics like low quality cotton, maybe poplin or muslin. You trace your design there, and then you create your first test fit. Okay, so that test fit is tried on the body form you have at hand, and then that works out. You finally trace the brown paper strips on the original fabric, and then you remake the entire dress. Now there are several things that has to be kept in mind, which is the brown paper you are using for the initial fit check on the mannequin or the body form, that is paper. Okay, and then the dress you are making is a different material, which is fabric. Sometimes there is a draping problem, or maybe there is some kind of other problems that might happen when you are doing it on paper and then transforming it on a fabric. Also there might be a problem with the test fit and the final dress, because the test fit is a simple cotton, and maybe the final dress you are trying is having certain different kinds of fabrics, maybe net, maybe satin, and every fabric, if you know, behaves in a different way. So sometimes stitching and making the exact things on the final fabric might be an issue, and then again we need to readdress those issues and then solve all of that. So that's kind of like making the entire dress. So that's a very cumbersome procedure, I know, but before you go to the ramp, it's all of that. Everything is required, from sketching the initial idea to making the initial idea on fabric, stitching it all. Also you actually will have to also stitch your own dress. So that is also a part of fashion design. There is a whole lot of things that a fashion designer need to learn, starting from sketching an initial idea, to tracing, to initial stitching, to pleating, styling, all of that. So it is not easy, but at the same time it is definitely completely worth it, because finally you get to see the dress, you know that you have made something beautiful. So now that you know this is how the fashion design process works, today's episode was all about what is fashion design. In the next episode I will tell you if fashion design is the right stream for you, and how would you know if it is. So I'm not making the video too long, because that way it will block your head a lot. So I don't want to do that. Rather, I would like you to try and understand what fashion design is. I would like you to research about different fashion designers who are working right now, and who have been working since a long time. So I want you to research all of that, so that till the next time, till we see and till we discuss more about fashion design, you have a basic idea about the people who design clothes, and what exactly amongst all of those designs do you like. Okay, so do the needful. Okay, I'll meet you in the next video. Also, after the research, I would like to know which designer suits you the best amongst the different fashion designers whose works you see. Okay, so today till here. Okay, bye bye. Also, if you like my video, do like, share and subscribe. Have a great day ahead.